Hello and welcome into another podcast on the University of Maryland golf team for WMUC Sports. So on this podcast, we will be taking a look back at the last two tournaments for the Terrapins, which they did very solid in, taking a look ahead to their next tournament and an extended period of time off before that tournament and after that tournament, which we will get to a little bit later. And at the end of the podcast, there will be interviews again with Coach Jason Rodenhaver and sophomore standout Timothy Colanta, who has been having a great season so far. So the Terps' last two tournaments have both been in North Carolina, and first one, the Wolfpack Fall Intercollegiate in Raleigh, and after that, the Tar Heel Intercollegiate at Chapel Hill, North Carolina. In the Wolfpack Intercollegiate, the Terps finished 4th out of 17 teams, another very solid finish, and in the Tar Heel, they finished tied for 3rd out of 13 teams. So again, Terrapins have been finishing very strong this year in all of their tournaments. They started out 3rd out of 16 teams at the Ocean Course, 6th out of 14, 4th out of 17, and 3rd out of 13. Always in the top half and near the top. And in the last tournament, they were only 6 strokes out of first place, so they're getting a lot closer to being at the very, very top of the leaderboard. As far as the Wolfpack Intercollegiate, Jason Rodenhaver liked what the team did, and the team was led by sophomore Justin Feldman. He was tied for 10th overall. This is a very tough course. He was just -1, and some other standouts for the Terrapins included David Coker and Timothy Colanta, and of course Peter Nate and Joe Brooks, the usual stars for this team. So another solid outing there. But they did even better in the Tar Heel Intercollegiate, where they finished 3rd, as I said earlier. And this time, a freshman, Peter Nate, who's been having an unbelievable year, was the leader for the Terrapins. He was tied for 5th overall in the standings with a score of 141, 70, and then 71, which is 3 under in the tournament. And again, keep hearing this name, Timothy Colanta. He was tied for 8th overall. And David Coker, Justin Feldman, Chris Navarro, all near the top of the leaderboard again. So Terrapins having a very solid year so far, inching closer and closer to first place in one of these tournaments. So after they finish the Tar Heel Intercollegiate on Sunday, October 9th, they have 21 days off all the way until Sunday, October 30th, where they play the Kiowa Classic in South Carolina. And then after that, that's it for fall, and they have to wait all the way until February for the Puerto Rico Classic in Rio Grande, Puerto Rico. So I'm sure that'll be exciting, but the Terps have been doing great so far, and they like to finish off the fall with the Kiowa Classic and another solid outing there. Like I said, at the end of this podcast, I have an interview with Coach Jason Rodenhaver and sophomore standout Timothy Colanta. So thank you for listening, and I hope to be back to you in the next week or so with some more good news about the Terps golf team. Here with head coach Jason Rodenhaver. Jason, you guys had another solid tournament this week. You guys finished 3rd in the Tar Heel Intercollegiate. What does that say about your team that you guys have been in the top few for every tournament this year?
Well, I think it shows that we have some depth this year. But we've been consistent. We've been playing well all throughout the lineup, 1 through 5. Obviously David Coker, Tim Colanta, Peter Nate, Justin Feldman have been pretty consistent. I think their stroke averages are within a half a shot of each other. So we're playing well, and looking forward to keeping it going.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the guys that have been doing pretty well, Peter Nate, David Coker, and Timothy Colanta. So when I talked to you before the season, you said and I asked you who's taking the biggest step forward. You said Timothy Colanta, and he's been very, very solid so far. He's been up near the top of the leaderboard for every tournament. What has he changed specifically to be one of the top players in the team, do you think?
Well, we always knew Tim was a very talented player. We saw signs of his ability last spring. I think he came in as a freshman with high expectations, put a lot of pressure on himself. And I think as the year went on last year, he got more comfortable with every facet of college golf. And, he had a great summer coming into the fall. And, he's been playing great. His stats are great. He's just a good player. We knew he was going to be a good one when we got him. We were fortunate to get him to come here. And he's showing the type of player we thought he would be.
He's definitely been very solid. So, Coach, there's a pretty extended break coming up for the Maryland golf team. You guys don't play again till the end of the month. Are you gonna, as far as the routine goes for the players, are you gonna stick with the same routine, practicing the same number of days a week? Are you going to give the guys a little bit of time off?
Yeah, we gave a little time off this week. Academics are going to start kicking in here with midterms, so it's a good break for us. We've on the road a lot with the first 4 tournaments, especially with the UNC and NC State tournament being the same week. So we're getting a little bit more time off, but we're going to kind of taper ourselves. We're going to take it easy this week and kind of get back into it starting on Monday and get ready for the go down to Kiowa end of the month.
Yeah, Kiowa sounds like it's going to be fun. All right, Coach. Thanks.
I hope so. We played real well there last year and looking forward to another good finish.
All right, Coach. Congratulations on another great start. You guys finished 3rd in the Tar Heel Intercollegiate. Enjoy this break, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Noah. Take care.
All right, you too. Here with sophomore Timothy Colanta of the Maryland golf team. Timothy, first of all, congratulations on a great season so far. Have a few questions for you. First off, you guys have had a pretty rough start as far as the weather goes. There's been some cancellations and some delays. How have you been dealing with the weather issues so far, and has it affected your game?
I wouldn't say it's really affected my game. We had 2 big weather delays, one at VCU earlier this month and just last week at UNC. At VCU was really kind of the weather delay was kind of a blessing in disguise to its extent. I mean, we were able to regroup after kind of a shaky start, and we got back at it, and we played beautifully in the afternoon. And then at UNC, we were fully prepared for a weather-shortened tournament, and all week we just mentally prepared to play in the rain and tough conditions, and just constantly grinding throughout the whole process. It hasn't really affected my game. I live in Florida, and we get rain there almost every day when I play. So it's kind of just starting and stopping again point of view didn't really affect me as much as I think people would think, just because I'm so used to that.
All right, sounds good there. Secondly, you guys have played on some nice courses so far, but what has been your favorite? You guys have played at the Tar Heel Intercollegiate amongst some other ones, so what's been your favorite one that you guys have played on so far?
I think the Country Club of West Virginia for VCU's tournament was definitely a special place. It was a great club, beautiful condition, great layout. We played in it last year, and I didn't really play the best there. I kind of more admired the course this year than last year, playing better and just appreciating all the amenities the club had.
You mentioned some of your how you struggled a little bit last year, and I talked to Coach Rodenhaver and some other players, and I asked them who's been the biggest or who made the biggest improvement from last year to this year, and most of them said you. So specifically, what have you focused on changing from last year, your freshman year, to this year, sophomore year, and now becoming one of the best players in the team?
I wouldn't say I've done too much. Really, I just found my footing in college. Both academically, socially, and everything. I feel like I'm well adjusted now. And coming all the way up from Florida, it was a little different. I had some of my struggles. Sophomore year transitioned beautifully, and playing in the summer too. All the tournaments I played, I felt well rested coming into this season. Last year, coming into my freshman year, I kind of tweaked my back and didn't play at all for about 4 weeks leading up to the season. So I put some unnecessary pressure and expectations on myself. I guess overall, I just feel a lot more confident and comfortable here.
Well, you're certainly playing like you're a lot more confident and comfortable. Once again, Timothy, thank you for joining us, and congratulations on a good season so far.
Thank you for having me.